Danielle. How are you?
Hi, Elena. I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. I've been up now for nearly 9 hours. 9 hours streaming,
Girl, you sound good.
and
I've been
it's
listening.
it's hot. It's hot outside. I've got the fan going. We're having a bit of a heat wave at the minute in the
Oh,
UK.
dang. We suffer for
So
our art, don't we? We suffer for our
we
art.
do, we do. But 2 years on Twitch, and I kind of thought when I thought about who I wanted to come in and join me on stream, you were one of the very first people I thought of. You are one of my very favourite people, but also I thought to myself, Danielle's always a good time. So,
She's always bound to say something weird. Are we officially on?
yeah, we are. We are
Oh my God. Did
officially
I
on.
did I have to wave this?
Yay!
I have to
Thank you.
I have
Thank
to do my
you.
dance that I prepared.
With a banana as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
All
Um,
the best people have food as their emblem, right?
There you go. We go a bit bananas in here. The whole thing is because I often wear a banana costume, but it's too hot today to wear a banana costume.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You gotta
yeah,
make choices.
yeah,
Make
yeah.
make the sacrifices. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, dude. So Danielle, thanks for joining us. And I know that I'm obviously a big fan witch. Which is what we call fans of yours. I was trying to explain this to my community a while back. But how did you first get into music? What was your kind of background experience in music?
I was always involved in music when I was a kid. I took piano lessons and was in choir in school. So I knew I enjoyed it, but I always thought it was like to be a person who pursues their own musical path was made for somebody more brave and more talented than me. So I spent a lot of years talking myself out of it. And I didn't really get into it until college when I had a small group with two of my friends, so that we were a three-piece band, and we kind of wrote original songs and played a lot of covers just at open mic nights, and it was really fun. And it was the first time I was performing in like a slightly solo atmosphere. And then they all moved away or went different places for college, for furthering their career in another way that wasn't music. And then I was left to decide if I wanted to continue doing this again. And I really did. So I kind of had to get over my stage fright and my shyness and try it out. So I started slowly but surely on stages at open mic nights and then got booked playing shows. I had always been writing songs since I was a kid, but not really telling anybody about it or sharing them out because I didn't think they were worth anything. So yeah, the major journey for me was just convincing myself that I had something that was decent enough to say. And I'm still sort of on that journey of being like, you can do it. And I think it's a constant battle for a lot of people. But here I am today, pretty well self-employed, being a musician and a songwriter. And I'm really glad that I decided to be brave instead of scared.
Well, I'm glad that you decided to be brave as
Yeah,
well.
me
So,
too. Thank you.
the first time that I met you was actually in an alleyway. It was next to, it was next to the Duke of Uke music shop.
Right.
It was a ukulele shop in London, and it's 2016. So I knew of you. I knew of you before from YouTube and things. But I remember at the time you were eating a salad, and I remember saying to you, that I was, disappointed to see you weren't eating a sandwich, which probably loads of people have said to you. I count the number of times that people have said that to you, and you've probably heard the the question lots of times about what kind of sandwich it is. For the uninitiated, where did the name Danielle Ate the Sandwich come from?
Yes. Well, some people ask what kind of sandwich was it?
Yeah.
And in honor of your English heritage, I want to say today I ate a bacon biddy, bacon
Oh,
buddy.
a
Is
bacon
that a
butty.
sandwich?
It's a sandwich. Yeah.
I tried to look up English sandwiches, and bacon buddy sounded good. So
Bacon
that's
butty.
one I ate
I love
today.
it. Chip butty as well because I'm a vegetarian. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I could do that as well. The name came from being a bit of a goofball and wanting a name for myself without having to take myself too seriously. I
Hmm.
think food is funny and cute to put on shirts and stuff. So it was really sort of a means to an end of like, my real name is Danielle Anderson, and I didn't think that had the stage ring. So I tried to think of something in the deep corners of my mind that would be fun and attention getting and too long for a Twitter handle. Little did I know. But it's really just about having fun and being joyful and kind of coming as you are. And then it does end up getting a lot of questions. And then whenever I do eat a sandwich in public or don't eat a sandwich in public, I feel like I'm drawing a lot of attention to myself, which isn't my favorite thing. But I love the name. It's so silly, and I didn't realize that I would make this my career, but I think if I could go back in time, I would still name myself that.
Still go for the
'Cause
sandwich.
it just makes sense for
It
me.
does. And it's good on merch as well.
Right on.
When I'm wearing a t-shirt, people are always like looking at my Danielle Ate the Sandwich t-shirts. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's good for the old merch. So you actually started on a with building an online following on YouTube. Became a bit of
Mhm.
a household name with your homemade videos and your skits on YouTube. When wasn't it Conversations with Dead People was that the
Yeah.
song that was on the front page of YouTube,
Yep.
on the homepage?
Yeah.
So when you kind of set out, I know that there are lots of artists that really want to make it big on YouTube. Was that the plan, or was it just make some
No, not at
videos?
all.
No.
It was make some videos. It was, oh, I see some other people doing this and posting videos online. It helped combat the shyness of
Hmm.
like getting out on stage in front of real people is still kind of difficult. So to make some videos is a little less pressure. So it was a way for me to share my music and put it out there without having to actually have people look at me in real life. And I had no idea that it would take off the way it did, but with the skits and the videos and the silliness and sort of the comedy, that helped me grow the fan base that sort of understands me because it's folk songs that can be serious, but also I have a little nut sense of humor. So people kind of get both silliness and seriousness, especially those who have been following me on YouTube for a while. As I've built that,
Yeah.
and it's just a great expression of you get it. You're an online streamer. You're building an online audience. There's something kind of freeing about having your people in a
Yeah.
place where you can reach them this way and like you can be yourself in your house and it
Hmm.
feels like I'm comfortable here, so it's
Yeah.
a little easier to be comfortable online. Do you feel that same way?
Yeah, I mean, I pre-pandemic, I mean, I've always struggled with getting up on a stage. I remember when I came over to America and I was at the New Jersey Ukulele Festival, and I took one of your workshops was about how to perform and do like open mics and stuff. And I just really struggled with fear, stage fright. And I really tried to pre-pandemic. I started to do some open mics and stuff. Then the pandemic hit, and I was like, well, I really enjoy playing music, and I want to kind of carry it on. So I started some online streaming. It took me a while to get to Twitch, but yeah, I'm a real introvert, so I actually really like just being in my spare room and just chatting away, and nobody kind of answers me back. It's scary.
Yeah.
Well, in chat they do, but they're lovely on Twitch. They're absolutely lovely. I've got a lovely community, so it is.
Yeah, they're nice. I love that you're on Twitch. I haven't made the jump yet. I'm like just getting old enough that I'm like these kids and their technology, I can't keep up. So I feel like kind of old being like, yeah, I'm on YouTube. Have you heard of YouTube? And I'm not on TikTok or Twitch, or I never really got into Snapchat, so I'm just sort of like I'm hitting that break of like I don't understand the younger generation. So kudos to you for like delving into this media and creating a fan base on it. I think
Thank
you're
you.
great. This is your spare room. I want to talk about your bedspread behind
Yeah,
you.
this spare room. I bought the bedspread especially as a background for the for the
Ah,
thing. Yeah,
it's gorgeous. It caught
yeah,
my eye. I was like, what's going on? It's amazing. Cool. Yeah.
yeah. So with the YouTube videos and things, it created some really good opportunities for you to go and go and tour with some amazing names. Now's the time to name drop. Who have you opened for? Who have you played with?
One of the coolest ones, there's quite a few cool ones.
Yeah.
Mumford and Sons is one of the big ones. I got to play E-Town, which is an NPR radio show where we kind of get interviewed and play, and then we actually played a song together at the end of the show, which was awesome. And then I've opened for Jake Shimabukuro, who's probably the most famous ukulele player on the
Yeah.
planet right now. And I also got to tour with Pomplamoose, who
Mhm.
are also an active YouTube band. Jack Conte and Natalie Dawn, who are both have amazing solo
Yeah.
projects in their own right, and a really cool internet band. It was especially fun to tour with them because we both had an internet community, and they're really great people. And so it was awesome, a treat to actually like get to open a few of their tour dates on them on their East Coast tour, I think it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been all
Yeah.
over the place, and there are a few more. And
Haven't
I've
you played
also
with
got
Suzanne Vega? Is
yeah,
that right?
yeah. I
Yeah.
got to open for Suzanne Vega when she
So-
came through the town I used to live in Colorado,
Yeah.
which was amazing, at a place called the Armory. And I've played the same festival stage. I was at the beginning and they were at the end as Weezer. But what the cool thing was, their light up W was like propped up in the rafters, like for the stage, prepared to be dropped down by the end of their set. So in some of the photos that are like really upshot, you can see the W behind me. And I ride that W all the way to the bank. But I have had a good fortune to open for cool, interesting people and make a lot of friends along the way, including you. I think you've just been a great friend and super supporter. You've helped me so much
Thank
in
you.
my projects and my things that I do. So it's really nice to be here to celebrate your 2-year Twitchversary.
Well, it's always a pleasure to support you and things. So, yeah. Thank you, thank you. Um, so you mainly play ukulele. I know you play a lot of other instruments though. What other instruments? Didn't you start on
Yes.
violin? Is that right?
I started on violin. That was my main instrument in middle school and high school. And then I also played clarinet in middle school,
Hmm.
and I play guitar. I have a banjo in the background. I don't
Hmm.
know that I can play it. You
Yeah,
know how
sure.
you can like if you pick around on an instrument, you can kind of pick around on others.
Yeah.
But like if you need a banjo player, if you need somebody to hold a banjo in your band, I'm a great person. But if you need a banjo player, I have some names. And then I also, I mean, can pluck around on a few other things, but ukulele really feels like the instrument that I feel most comfortable on and
Hmm.
have had the most success writing on. I had written songs on guitar before I found ukulele, and then when I finally got my own ukulele and just had alone time with it, I wrote like an entire album in maybe 6 months. So the ukulele really opened up my music life in so many ways. Do you feel the same? I know you played
Yeah,
drums and
I started on guitar actually when I was 11, and played that for a long time. And I didn't really pick up. I picked up ukulele in 2013, so it was, a good 20 odd years of playing guitar. And yeah, I then took some drumming lessons. Uh, but yeah, ukulele is my jam. It is.
yep, me
Definitely.
too.
You've got a fair few ukuleles, don't you?
I do.
You do. What's your would you say is your go-to ukulele? If you had to kind of, I know it's like choosing your favorite child, but your go-to uke. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
this
Maya
one.
Moe, you see?
It's the Maya Moe, which I saw you were playing
Yeah,
earlier.
it's my
This is the
favorite.
first Maya Moe I got,
Mm.
and it actually it's my favorite. It's kind of scuffed up, because I've played it a long time, and there's like an issue with the pickup because it kind of like buzzes, and I haven't gotten it fixed yet, so
Yeah.
I can't play it live. But it's the one I have. I have like a little stand right here to the side of my desk. It's the one I
Hmm.
have within arm's reach so that I can like pick up to write with it or teach a lesson or fuddle around with something or do a like Instagram video. And so it's definitely my absolute favorite. Like if I were, I don't, no, terrible scenario to imagine, but if my house caught on fire, it would be like this one, my laptop computer, and like maybe some candy, maybe a bag of candy, you know, or probably my cell phone too. I don't know. Uh, but yeah, I love all my instruments. And I'm actually the type of player that I feel guilty if I have instruments I'm not playing.
Mm.
Do you feel this way? Like if I have them boxed up and I haven't touched them in a while, I'm
I
like,
do. I mean, I've got the video. The video for this is in a slightly different place because people don't usually get to see that mess of ukulele that's behind me because
love
I've got
it,
all sorts of
love
things
it.
going on there. But yeah, I generally there are three that I play. I've got the Myrtle, which is my Maya Moe custom made one. And then I've got a baritone that I play, but I play that in G C E A. I don't play it in baritone tuning.
Mm.
And then I've got a Carla, which is an electroacoustic, which was my kind of go-to gig ukulele. But yeah, the other ones are just up on the wall and in cases. So I kind of feel a little bit bad that I don't play them, but yeah. But my Moa
Yeah,
Moa is it's my go-to.
me
You know,
too. Yeah,
it
yeah.
is. So what style of music are your real loves? I know you've got quite eclectic tastes, but what kind of
Yeah. Well,
maybe?
I write kind of folk. I've been calling it folk pop lately. When I started, I said indie folk, but
Mhm.
I listen to a lot of pop music, like pop radio music, and I love and I think there's a lot of inspiration from jazz music and jazz singers.
Yeah.
So like 50s pop jazz, American standard songbook stuff. And then uh, I also do love singer-songwriters, especially from the 60s. Um, Bob Dylan and Simon and Garfunkel were some of the first people I discovered and got into. And then Joni Mitchell is incredible. But like currently, when I go on walks and I play music, it's Nick Jonas, it's Carly Rae Jepsen, it's when I feel upset and I feel bad, it's Taylor Swift. Like, just play me my Taylor Swift playlist. And with I think people don't give these artists credit for songwriting or whatever, but I love melody and I love singing. So even if the lyrics are a little bit light, which I think sometimes they can be pretty good even in these pop songs. Even if the lyrics are light, the melodies are super interesting to me and I just love singing and it's great singing practice for me to sing along with the melody of pop music because it goes all over and it bounces and it's high and low. If you've ever tried to sing along to a Kelly Clarkson song, you know what I mean. It's always too high for me. But
Yeah.
and so yeah, that's what I feel like I always have to say, like, I have to drop some names of like legit singer-songwriters. But honestly, I love pop music. What do you listen to the most?
What do I listen to the most? I kind of go through phases. I go through like Joni Mitchell phases,
Yep.
but I do love pop music as well. I listen to all sorts of stuff. Anything comes on, I'm singing away. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me
A
too.
bit Taylor Swift. I during lockdown I was listening to folklore and just yeah, loads of Taylor Swift. But because you called me out when we were having dinner once, and you called me out about having a Taylor Swift ringtone on my phone,
Ah,
and you were
good
like,
for
"Is that
you.
you?" Yeah, it was me. I do like Taylor
Yeah.
Swift. Yeah.
Oh, me
Um,
too.
so you're a bit of jack of all trades. It's not just the ukulele. I see you've got into your improv and stuff. I see you've got something going on later tonight, haven't you? Improv wise.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
what's
I've been getting into improv
yeah?
comedy and performing more on stage without an instrument and without song, which is also a thing I had to learn to get comfortable doing and took me quite a few performances before I wasn't nervous, recklessly nervous.
Yeah.
And tonight I'm hosting with my friend Paige something called Improv Prom. Do you guys have prom in England? It's like a
Yeah,
high
they've
school
they've
dance.
yeah they've started doing proms. Yeah, Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a dance at school. So we're reliving it as adults. And then with improv, it's improvised comedy. So we have breaks to do little games and jams, which just a random group of people come together to do a scene, improvised
Yeah.
comedy based on a suggestion. So it should be fun.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I said you're a jack of all trades because you're also doing you're doing your online life as a songwriter course.
Yeah.
Lots of things going on. So when it
Yeah.
comes to the songwriting, what's your kind of process? I mean, I know that people can sign up for lessons.
If you really want to know my process, sign up for Life as a Songwriter. No, it's my process differs, but the most common way is I start on the ukulele, noodling around, something sounds nice. I put three or more chords together in a progression and just sort of start looping them and playing them and playing them. And
Mhm.
then I kind of improvise a melody. So I'll just be like, and then usually that will make me think of words. Sometimes these words are just blurbs that mean nothing, or sometimes it's something more that's been on my mind or an actual lyrical phrase that I wanted to say. So maybe like, you've been on my mind, you've been on my mind, you've been on my mind all the time. So there is a lot of improv in for me, the lyric building and the melody writing. And because of my ability on the instrument, that has to be pretty in the box, and that stays pretty much the same. Sometimes I let my melody guide my chord progression where that needs to go.
Mhm.
But for me, it's just a lot of spending time in the moment of, I think, what the song's telling me. Sometimes it feels like we're building it together, but it's more coaxing me and I'm following it, as opposed to, I know some people write lyrics first and then fit that into chords. And that feels more like they're forward driven, they're driving the song, and I'm kind of following along in it. And as I've written more and more songs, and I've been doing this now for almost, um, I mean, professionally, like 12 years, but since I was a kid, so 30 years, I it's gotten harder. It's like the better I've gotten at writing songs, the harder it is to just sort of write whatever. I think there's a little bit of intimidation by my success and my knowledge
Mhm.
of songwriting, that I want to like write the perfect song or write with this perfect structure, or what do I want to say now that people are listening. So as I've gotten older, it's been harder to just ride inspiration's wave or find inspiration's wave. So nowadays I'm just trying to stay focused. I love teaching the class on songwriting because it keeps me, my mind and my heart in
Yeah.
songwriting. And I like writing for these custom projects. Like I've had some friends who make films who've asked me to write songs for their documentaries, or I'm writing a custom song for a wedding right now. So these things keep me in the game of songwriting, and just finding these projects and then like working with students and teaching songwriting so that I can spend time with the craft while I'm not feeling particularly like directly inspired all the time at the
Yeah.
moment. But I'm still
Well,
writing always.
well, I've seen you when you do your 24-hour albums. You've done seven now, isn't it? I think it's
Yeah,
seven of
I
them.
think so.
And
Yeah.
that's where you're writing, you're recording, you're producing. And I know that kind of watching your process, I always find it really intriguing the way that you do everything. But I also see how you're kind of like at first you're like this isn't good enough, or and still when you kind of come back to listening to some of those songs, are you still critical of some of those ones that you do on the 24-hour albums?
I'm less critical than I am in the moment of that, because I think
Yeah.
it's like, just being in that space for so long, as you probably feel right now, it's just sort of like, what's going on? Nothing right is happening. So I love taking the space back. But there is still, to be honest, with those songs that I write in these songwriting experiments, that I don't have the same fondness for as one that I really spent time on and
Yeah.
really worked through my heart. So the project is great to produce stuff and get new songs out there and show everybody my songwriting process, but there is something different to me and more meaningful. These songs that happen in a private space that are quiet. You know, as an introvert, it's sort of like I'm a performer and I'm an introvert, and sometimes the introvert can really say the truth, and sometimes the performer is full of junk, full of junk. I saw you edit yourself for
No, you
uh
could say it, it's fine.
during
When I
when
do
you
Alanis Morissette,
utter.
I will,
Yeah,
I
I was
fudge.
like, is she gonna say it? You did a nice edit, but yeah, I think as a performer, this is the other thing too. With like, I battle sometimes with my performer self and my artist self because they're a little bit at odds. Because the performer is like, everything's fine. I love all my songs. Art is easy. And then the artist is sort of moody and quiet and needs time and is like, please, nobody look at me. I just want to like wear sweatpants today and I didn't make anything and I'm hard on myself and I blah, blah, blah. So that's a relationship that I've been like trying to figure out as I get older too, of like how to listen to them both and be both and like make sure I'm giving time to both. Because as someone who runs their own business as a self-employed musician, you have to be both. And that's sometimes hard to nurture
Yeah,
these two sides.
yeah. Well, you mentioned before about the fact that you've been involved in a couple of projects. Your friends make documentaries. You did the Packed in a Trunk, the lost art
Mhm.
of Edith Lake Wilkinson. You've done another one recently.
Yeah, it's called It's
Not
Not a
Burden.
Burden.
Yep.
Yeah.
So how did you kind of get involved in those two projects?
Yeah, those films were made by my friends, Michelle and Barbara, who go by Greenie Films is the name of their production company. And they've always been documentary filmmakers, but they became fans of mine coming to see a show of mine in LA, and I heckled them. They were talking during my show, so I heckled them, and then they loved it. And then they came to me and talked to me after, and we became friends, you know, and they were just kind and said, we're filmmakers, we love your stuff. If you ever need a place to stay in LA, Zadi, Zadi, Zadi. And so I took them up on it and I became friends with them. And I do stay at their house when I stay in LA. And they've carried me through these awesome projects. The first one was a full length documentary, Edith Packed in a Trunk, about an artist kind of who was locked away and now her family living currently is discovering the secrets of her life and showing her art to the world. That premiered on HBO. And then this last one, It's Not a Burden, is a documentary about adult children caring for their aging and elderly parents, which I don't know about you, but like I'm just seeing that so much in my friends and my family of how we have to deal with and take care of our old aging parents and our grandparents and how to do that with humor. And then they have a new one coming out that they're working on currently. It's called The Letter League, and it's about a woman named Heather Spooner from Michigan here in the U.S. who started an adult pen pal club during the pandemic to connect people and give people something to do and hope and friendship and community. And so it's about her and these people who joined her pen pal club and the community that they found within it. It's called the Letter League. And so I'm excited to be working on that. And
Mhm.
it's just they always choose great projects that are really easy to find the emotion in,
Yeah.
and it's obviously very cool to be like, I'm writing music for a film. No
Well, the,
biggie.
the Drawing Back of Curtains is actually one of my very favourite albums of yours. There's some
Yeah.
amazing songs on there, and the documentary is awesome too, as well.
Yeah.
I've got it on DVD actually. I
Oh, I
yeah,
didn't have it on
it's really good.
DVD.
And then I think it was on Netflix in America, but I don't think it made it over to the UK. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
it's great.
Yeah, thank
Um,
you.
Now you've written so many songs, so
Mhm.
many songs.
Yeah.
Um, I know that loads of people have asked you this question. I'm going to ask it. Dare I ask it? Have you got a favourite? Is there one that you just think, actually, I'm really proud of that? I mean, I've only written six, and there's one that I'm really proud of, but you've
Yeah,
written loads.
yeah. I think mine change. Mine change from time to time. I'm I really like the universe.
Yeah.
which I saw you play, and I would love to play it if you want me to. And I also really love The Long Haul, which is a song
I
from
love that one
my
too.
also the same album as The Universe.
Yeah,
The album's called Terrible Dinner Guest, and I also like the song Terrible Dinner Guest.
I do too.
And yeah, yeah. So I think the songs that I like are ones that are fun to play and sing.
Yeah.
I have a song called Faith in a Man that I feel like is the fan favorite. Like that's
Mhm.
the one that people request, or when I play it, I sometimes hear people go, "Yeah," in the crowd. So like that feels like my hit single. I think I also sometimes there's a grocery store here. You might have them, Whole Foods.
Mhm.
Uh, it like people have told me they've heard it being played in Whole Foods, and I don't
Wow.
even know how that happened, but it's like, oh, yeah, that's my hit single. But it's funny. I think I like songs that are really sometimes I fight for the ones that are important to me. Like I really liked the song The Terrible Dinner Guest, so I made it the name of the album
Yeah.
to make sure that there would be a big focus on it.
Yeah.
I also have a song, you might not know it or you may, called Bright Flashes
I
from
do.
Like a King. And
Yes.
I really like that one, but I
Did you
feel like
ask me if I didn't know that song?
I don't
There
want
were
to
bright
expect you to
flashes the
know.
day you were
Yeah,
born. I
you know
know
it.
it.
I don't want to expect everybody to know everything, but thank you for knowing it. And yeah, I think that's just a really I love the writing, and it's odd and weird, like weird and sweet, and that's all I want my songs to be is odd, weird, and sweet.
Yeah. Well, just as a fan, there are certain songs that you kind of equate with different moments, and for me, the Have-Nots is
Mm,
one of my favorites because
absolutely.
that was a that was one when I remember we were at the Grand Northern Ukulele Festival, and I just found out that morning that my grandma had died.
Mhm.
And I was meant to take one of your workshops, which I did. I came to the workshop, but I remember bumping into you, and you saw I was upset, and you said, "What's up? What's going on?" And yeah, and you gave me a big hug that day. So that's the
Yeah.
song. That's the song for me. The Have-Nots.
Yeah.
It's an awesome song. But I also do love the universe. I've got quite a few of your songs on my song list. I've got Faith and Man, the
Yeah.
universe, Two Places at Once, Bad Habit. So yeah, and they get requested. So it's nice actually for people to get to put a face to the name from the song list, and for you to you to join us.
Yeah, this is fun. You're a good interviewer.
Am I? I should
Yeah.
make a living out of this.
Especially after 9 hours of just doing this whole thing. How do you
Yeah.
take a bathroom break?
Well,
You can like play a little.
I just play a little "Be Right Back" screen, little
That's good.
song.
Yeah.
I've only been twice actually. I need to hydrate a little bit more.
It's hard to keep it all going. I've
It
been there.
is. It is. So, do you fancy playing some songs for us? I know I asked
I
you
do
before,
fancy it.
but you
Yeah,
do
I
fancy it.
fancy
Good.
it.
Good.
I'll start with the terrible dinner guest, but I can play a couple, so I will play the universe. I know you wanted that one
Okay,
in
I'm going to
mind.
try and take myself out of the scene, but this might go completely wrong, and in which case I might just sit here grinning at you. Like,
Okay.
but I'm going to try and take myself out.
Okay.
Um,
I hope this sounds okay. Feel free to interrupt me if it doesn't. It sounds like this when I'm singing and playing.
yep,
And I'm singing and playing. Does
it's
that
fine.
sound good?
Yep.
Okay, cool. This song is called The Terrible Dinner Guest. It is the title track of that album Elena and I were talking about that we love with the universe and the long haul. And I love this song because it is sort of my anthem to being an introvert and being a little bit shy. And I wrote it after being involved in a conversation where the people were really nice to me. It wasn't like they were snotty um, or rude. I just had no idea what they were talking about. And I felt just terrible about like not being smart or versed in the subject that they were speaking on. And so instead of just listening politely, I started acting like a little bit of a brat. And I declared myself that night the terrible dinner guest. So I wrote this anthem in quietly in my room when I went to bed. Uh, and so it's for all of you who have embarrassed yourself at a function uh, social function. Here we go. The closet coats hung safe in quieter places, and the chicken was silent in its cooking glazes. My tongue was heavy in hiding in the back of its cage. I'm scavenging cabinets to make conversation. I'm looking under couch cushions for sophistication. I thought I had taste, but I don't even know what time it is. Ooh, I got soul, but you'd never know, if you were stuck across the table from me, the terrible dinner guest. Well, I am a middle school boy at the sock hop, and I'm clinging to walls to avoid any small talk. I'm only here with my hair combed because my mother made me. Though the words crossing tables were soft and engaging, I couldn't quite rouse myself to the occasion. Put a note on my list to learn more talking points about organic gardening. Ooh, I got soul, but you'd never know, if you were stuck across the table from me, the terrible dinner guest. Oh, if I could only understand all your literary references, I'd be spinning tables round the room. If only I could think one thing to prove. Ooh, I got soul, but you'd never know. If you were stuck across the table from me, across the table, a terrible dinner guest. Ooh, I got soul, but you'd never know, if you were stuck across the table from me, the terrible dinner guest. So quiet, I curled on the couch with my blanket, after making a vow for a life's worth of silence. I'm trading my voice in for land legs, just like the mermaid. Look at this stuff, oh, isn't it neat? Well, wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Not if you were stuck across the table from me, the terrible dinner guest.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yay. Love it. Love it. I was always a terrible dinner guest when I went through my vegan stage. Nobody wanted me around for dinner.
I know. I feel like being a vegan, well, being a vegetarian, I was a vegetarian for a while. It's
Yeah.
like such a big deal. And people
Yeah.
make it a big deal. You can be
Yeah.
like, I'll bring my own food or I'll cover my, and they're like, "Whoosh, can I even have meat in the house?" I don't know how you were, but
For people just joining us, just say this is Danielle Ate the Sandwich. I see Dream on Music has joined us in chat. Hey Dree, how you doing? And happy 2 years. Yeah, thanks Danielle. So yeah, this is Danielle Ate the Sandwich. I know that Herb has given you lots of publicity and promo. Herb is one of my mods in here. So yeah, and Herb also said earlier on that he was very happy that I'd introduced him to you, because he's a big ukulele player over there in Austria,
Awesome.
and he kind of found out about you through me, I think. So there you
Cool.
go. So
That's sweet.
let's hear some more from you,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
Oh, I don't. I'm
Good,
gonna
good.
switch to a baritone. You mentioned
Ooh.
packed in a trunk,
Yeah.
and this is one of my favorite songs from that. It's called Morning Glories. I actually released a songbook
Yeah.
this last winter, and this song and the last one is inside of that songbook. But this one is a beautiful song I wrote about people who kind of march to the beat of their own drum, who swim upstream. I relate to it as an artist and sort of a weirdo, just sort of carving your own path and following that call that your heart is making. So it's called Morning Glories.
And Morning Glories is actually on my song list.
Oh,
So people here
good.
know it, and they'll get to hear it sung properly. So
Oh, no way.
now
You
I'm
rule.
going to
You
take
rule. You
myself
rock
out.
the guitar. Okay. This is my version, even though Elena's version of my songs are always great. This is Morning Glories performed by me, Danielle Ate the Sandwich. All the glowing morning glories, and all the petals fallen, all the flowing roads to freedom, and all the fools who sought 'em. I am one of those who became someone brave in the face of the storm. I am one of those who was waiting to hold the weight of the world. All the rolling highways scattered with glitter and with longing. All the cursive of your wording, it left a certain haunting. I am one of those who became someone brave in the face of the storm. I am one of those who was waiting to hold the weight of the world. I am one of those who became someone brave in the face of the storm. I am one of those who was waiting to hold the weight of the world. And it's a growing garden, it's an open drawer. It hits you like the crash of feet tapping happy on floors. All the mirrors that reminded, shattered at the framing. All the risers stacked with voices of all the morning glories. I am one of those who became someone brave in the face of the storm. I am one of those who was waiting to hold the weight of the world. I am one of those who became someone brave in the face of the storm. I am one of those who was waiting to hold the weight of the world.
Yes. Nice.
Ew.
Yay. Love that song.
Yay.
I've done that. I've done that at some open mics actually.
Ah,
So and it's what I find about that song is that at an open mic, when I'm trying to do the plucky bits, my hand's shaking so much that it goes to pot. It does. It
no,
goes wrong. But I always try and push myself to kind of do
no.
it. But it's an amazing song. I love it.
I have the same thing. I just had a little bit of a like unstable finger right then when I played that, and I was like, oh, geez, why did I play this song? That's hard. That's hard when you're nervous and you're playing a finger pick song. It's like,
Yeah,
what was I thinking? But you gotta push through the nerves. Push through the nerves.
there you go. Right.
There you
Um, Danielle, we'd love to hear some more from you.
go.
I'm gonna
Okay.
stop interrupting you. I'm gonna let you just flow. You know, you
Just
can
play
do
a
your
few.
thing. Yeah, play a few. I'll do a little clap so you don't feel like the room is
Okay.
empty.
Okay, cool.
But just yeah,
That sounds great.
go with
But
it.
you interrupt me if you have something to say.
Okay, I
Uh,
will do. I will do.
I'll play the universe now, which
Yeah.
Elena did just earlier. It's one of my favorite songs that I mentioned on my album, The Terrible Dinner Guest. All my music is available to stream or download online, and I also have an online store if you prefer physical copies. But this song was written about when I was in a long distance relationship, and you know all the things you do, the web videos and the calls and the texting and the traveling and the plane rides, and it's sort of now about just being grateful for the world to work out and the communication we have and how we can connect with people um, in our world, and the larger sense of gratitude. It's called The Universe. There are girls across the universe wishing in a well, but I got all I need right here. And there are dogs all through the neighborhood aching for a bone, but I got what I need. The universe, the universe is big and wide, and when you least expect it, she provides. There are traffic guards in towers tall, telling planes to land, so you can make it safely on the ground. And there are satellites in outer space, sending signals home, so I can call you later on the phone. The universe is big and wide, and when you least expect it, she provides. The universe is big and wide. When you least expect it, there might be life on other planets, and they might understand how good it feels when you touch me with your hands. And someday science might explain, compared to all the other souls, if you and I were meant the way we hoped. The universe is big and wide, and when you least expect it, she provides. The universe is big and wide, and when you least expect it, all of this tumbling down, it has taught me I don't know anything, and I've learned my lesson, but I can't change the weight of the words when I'm speaking your name. There are girls across the universe wishing in a well. I got all I need right here.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah.
Thank you. So thank you. That
Beautiful.
one's called The Universe again. Elena's just going to let me roll.
Yeah.
I'm going to play a newer song that I wrote. It's short. It's a little song. I'm experimenting with the power of that, just writing a short song that doesn't have to be the 3.5 minute pop song. And I do have a video of it on YouTube if you ever want to follow me on my channel there. It's called Fine, and it's actually a funny one to play after that last song that I said was about gratitude, because this is kind of about my ability to just complain about everything and feel drastically destitute, and my melodramatic emotional side comes out in this song. But I am very fine, and it's sort of a little reminder to not be petty about what I have. So it's called Fine. I ought not complain so much. I always find a reason to be ungrateful for the gorgeous things you laid inside my garden. I ought not find little things to dance with in the ballroom of the inside of the madness of my tiny brain apartment. Isn't one a funny thing to be alive and well in spring? It's not enough to have a refrigerator full of fruits and vegetables. I am sure there's someone worse off, shipwrecked on the seaside. But how's a girl supposed to realize she's actually doing just fine? Oh, 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 fine. All the dead skin that I grew in winter, slowly peeling off like splinters. That's the end of that one. It was short. It was
Oh, it was
short.
lovely. It was lovely.
Thank you. Thank you. So I can also play my song Faith in a Man.
Yeah.
This is the one I was talking about that is kind of the hit track. And it's really fun. There's a great music video for it on YouTube, like a proper music video that we shot, and it's kind of Bonnie and Clyde themed, and it's in black and white, and I act a little bit, and I use this accent. Well, give me my money, mister. And it's pretty cute. And so this song is actually about, I say faith in a man, but it just means mankind, us humans, and all we're capable of doing. And though I think we mess a lot up, I think we have a lot going for us, including architecture and electricity and community and building and being there for each other. So this song is a tribute to us when we're doing good for ourselves. It goes like this: 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Headed south on routes paved by man, we make our way furiously over steel built to rise above all the God-given glory of the world. I put my faith in a man, put my faith in a man. I put the tools to build the trust. I put him in his hands, and all the stony part gonna tell our stories. I put my faith in a man. We arrive at the mountain tall, with peaks as wide as a bird's wings. We should have gone instead to Nineveh. Jonah knows the belly of the beast is cold. Should have gone never on a ride, and all the cars are dizzy dancing chorus lines. I put my faith in a man, put my faith in a man. I put the tools to build a trust. I put him in his his hands and all this stony guard. Gonna tell our stories, but I put my faith in a man. Oh, the bridges stand for me because I put my faith in man. Put my faith in man. Put my faith in man. Curtain rod still hangs, garden hose still pours, telephone pole stringing that song from shore to shore. Curtain rod still hangs, garden hose still pours, telephone pole stringing that song from shore to shore. I put my faith in a man, I put my faith in a man, I put the tools to build the trust I have for him in his hands. I put my faith in a man, faith in a man. I put the tools to build the trust I have for him in his hands. I put my faith in a man, put my faith in a man. I put the tools to build the trust I have for him in his hands. And all this stony guard, gonna tell our stories. I put my faith in a man.
Woohoo! Yeah. Love it, love it, love it.
Thank you. Shall I play one more, Elena?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
So I have a couple of options. I'm not meaning to play every song you have on your song list. I feel like Two Places at Once would be nice. I could do Stay In With You. I'm not sure if you remember that one or if that's
Yeah, I
still
do.
good and relevant. Or I could play Peace to You, Brother. Any requests?
Let's have some two places at once.
Okay, cool.
Although the other one is very relevant still, but yes, let's
Good.
go for
I'm glad to hear it.
go
I'm
for
glad to
that.
hear it. So this is called Two Places at Once. It's a song I wrote about moving away, moving from home, like making a big decision and kind of a decision that surprised people. So I'm sure we've all made a decision like that in our lives. And I didn't get the exact support that I wanted or needed to feel like I had the support of my friends and family. So I wrote this song to sort of be the support for myself. And it was sort of like my goodbye letter and like my statement piece of like, I have to do this, I have to follow my heart. So for anybody who has made a big decision and not gotten the support they wanted, here is a song for you. It's called Two Places at Once. I'm a fool to be sitting alone in the evening. I'm a fool to be singing the blues. And I'm a fool to be trying to be not like my mother, who was trying to not be like hers. Well, it's a circle, it's a habit, it's a roundabout bathroom, and we're trying to scrub at the scum. And in life, I am finding that it's best to keep trying, 'cause baby, it's not done till it's done. There will be hills, there are hills, no matter how far you get. There will be hills, there are hills, no matter how we try to get over it. There are corners and caverns that won't soon forget me, and the faces that I knew will be loved. But I cannot quite rest until I'm next to the breast of the one that I'm so happy to love. There will be hills, there are hills, no matter how far you get. There will be hills, there are hills, no matter is in a book smashed inside some kid's locker. And a physicist is making it so, since the physical laws of science constrain me. I can't be two places at once. There will be hills, there are hills, no matter how far you get. There will be hills, there are hills, no matter how we try to get over it. So to my mother, my sister, and all who once knew me, I am here now, but soon I'll be gone. And in life, there are losers, there are cowards and liars. And you can bet I was neither of those.
Love it.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank
love
you so
it.
much.
That's always one that hits. That hits hard, that song.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for being a fan of my music. It reminds me to be proud of my work and my music. So thanks for always being a fan.
You've got so many fans out there, but yeah,
It's
I
very
am
cool.
I am a proud fanwich. Even got the t-shirt, got several t-shirts.
Yeah, yeah.
So Danielle, what's kind of next for you? I know you said that you're going to be doing some music for this new documentary.
Yeah, that's a big writing project this year. Writing new songs, probably recording later on. I'm teaching currently a session of life as a songwriter and hope to offer another one of those in the fall and winter. I'm usually doing about 4 a year.
Mhm.
So if you're interested in that, I'm also playing shows again. I'm based in the United States in specifically Kansas City, Missouri. So I'm not sure where your fans exist, but I'm getting back out there and playing some shows,
Mhm.
slowly but surely. I'm tiptoeing out. I know a lot of my musician friends are just like exploding out, and I'm like, "Ooh, one every couple months." But it does feel good to get out there and give that a shot again. And then I'm always doing YouTube videos and content online. If anyone wants to follow me, Danielle Ate the Sandwich is my handle on most of the networks. And I have lots of content and songs that you can enjoy if you're a new fan, or I'm always trying to put out new stuff if you've been a fan for a while.
Well, if you ever do make it onto Twitch, you need a hand setting things up, or
I
hit
would
me up.
love your
Hit me up.
advice.
I'm
Yeah,
helping
I
you
should
out.
do it. I should do it.
You should do. I
You do
mean,
great. You do great. You inspire me to do it.
I only stream a couple of times a week, but there are some people, do it every so often. I know that you used to do the online concerts and things, and
Yeah.
you get people who will get subs and gift you bits.
Yeah.
So it's a good way of making a little bit of money as well for the bigger streamers. So you should think
Yeah.
about it, Danielle.
I might make
Would
it
love to see you
happen.
on
Who
into the
knows?
Twitch family.
I'm
So
just trusting of the technology, but I'll see. I'll see.
listen, if I
It's
can do
great.
it,
It's great.
if I can do
Yeah.
it, you'll
Yeah,
be
yeah,
fine.
yeah. You
You'll be
you would
fine.
be a great ambassador. I do need to pick your brain about it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Danielle, thank you so much for giving up your time.
Nice.
Thank you for having
Nice.
me.
Nancy, thank you for cheering 100 biddies. See, we've had some biddies
Oh
come
my
through. There you
gosh,
go.
Biddy crazy. Nancy on the biddies.
But Danielle, thank you so much for joining us, giving up your time, talking. It's been lovely to chat to you as well. I haven't spoken
Yeah.
to you in ages. Kind of on the interwebs.
It's good to see
But
you
actually
and hear your
to
mouth
chat to you.
moving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll get to see each other in person. Hopefully, maybe a little bit of a tour over this way, or I have been over to America just to see you before, so you
I
never know.
know. We've seen
You
each
never
other a
know.
surprising amount of times, all thanks to you traveling. And yeah, I would love to tour England and Europe someday soon. You'll be the first to know, trust me.
Okay. All right then. Well,
Thank you so much.
thank you. Take care. Okay. Bye.
Congrats on your
Thank you.
anniversary. I think I
Thank
know how to
you.
hang up, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Bye. Thanks for having
Bye. There we go. That was Danielle Ate the Sandwich.